I've never heard a major label executive admit this.
Is you guys I'd let that sink in.
The majors get by, if you look at their financials, it backs this up. They get by because of the depth of their catalog.
Yes.
And it's an interesting point. Hartwig Mausch, who used to be the chairman of BMG, he retired last year. He once said, I've never heard a major label executive admit this. He said, when I look at the financials for BMG over the last year, he said this like a couple of years ago, he said, only 3% of our money is made from new frontline releases.
Whew.
And it was like, wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah, 3%. That's BMG. Okay, so all right. So
you guys I'd let that sink in.
Yeah, 3%. 3. Okay. So that gives you an idea of where the majors are making their money. They're making it from catalog. Catalog is considered anything that's a year and a half, 2 years older and back. And that's where they make the most money. I mean, I know a lot of artists who have been around for a long time, and it's funny. I'm not going to say who it was, but I was looking at their statements of royalties a couple days ago, and it was hysterical. It was like, all this contemporary stuff. It was like, $200, $1.50, $30, whatever. And then this like song from 1978, $35,200. It was like as if it was like a contemporary hit single today. Yeah. So my point is the majors are surviving on their catalogs. And, to your point earlier, comparing the record company of your question of today versus yesterday, they have a different problem. The majors of today have a different problem. That's why there's only 3 of them left. There were 6, that. Like, was it 20 years ago, there were 6. Now it's down to 3. That's a 50% decrease of an industry in like a 10-year period, okay? Yeah. And the reason is because they're having a very hard time surviving in an era when they're not the only game in town anymore. No one could make music back 20, like when you were a band, no one had the financial apparatus to do what you were doing back then, except labels, to spend 6 figures on a record.
And Rich, I think this is the reason why you're seeing the trend happening, why everybody's snagging all of the publishing rights to all of these artists. That's why I think you're seeing that big trend, talking about how the labels are surviving on catalog. Well, now they're going after all the music publishing of even current artists and trying to, kind of get ready for the future. So it's a very interesting trend of what's going on now with this whole catalog buying.